So this exercise is the plank exercise. It's great for core stabilization, for that beer belly, getting those six-pack abs. So you start in a push-up position, and you just hold the up position of a push-up, making sure to press through the base of the palms, through the knuckles, and looking forward so that your shoulders don't round forward. So lifting, pressing through the crown of the head and through the heels, and holding for 45 seconds. For a scrawny chest, to really build up those chest muscles, you can do push-ups and bench press. Those are really great exercises. So with the push-ups, one thing you really want to concentrate on is there are different types of push-ups. You can either have your hands just underneath your shoulders. You can do close grip push-ups, taking the elbows right by the waist, pressing right back up. Or you can take wide grip push-ups, which work more of the pectoral muscles. To really define your back, a great pose is the Superman pose. So you come down onto your chest, onto your stomach. Extend both arms in front of you, both legs behind you. And then at the same time, on your exhale, exhale and lift everything up off the floor. Really reach through the fingertips, reach through the toes. Exhale and lower. And then inhale and lift. And hold. You can hold for 4 to 5 breaths. And lower. And one thing to think about is squeezing the shoulder blades back when you're lifted, which is really going to keep the exercise out of your traps, your upper shoulders. To shape up a flat tush, you can do squats or jump squats. Both work really well. So with squats, sitting straight back into your heels, sitting back like you were sitting into a chair that someone was going to pull out from behind you. And then you can add the jump to that to make it more intense. So pressing down to the floor, and lifting straight overhead. Just make sure you keep the weight in your heels when you squat. This exercise, calf raises, is great for skinny legs and really shaping up those calf muscles so you get really sexy legs. So you can do this pretty much anywhere. You can do it on the subway, you can do it while you're waiting in line at the grocery store. Basically, standing with both feet together, lifting up onto the tips of the toes and lowering right back down. So to make this harder, you could take weights and put them on your shoulders, and make sure that you keep them pretty steady over the shoulders. And just keep going until your legs fatigue. Another great exercise for sculpting your legs are wall sits. Those are one of my favorites. So you can find a wall, come down about 90 degrees so that your upper thigh is about 90 degrees parallel to the floor. And then you can press your lower back into the wall. With your arms, you can either extend them down towards the floor, up halfway with the shoulder blades on the back, or overhead. And you can stay here for as long as you possibly can. You can come in and out of it if you want, but hold until your thighs start to really burn. And for a great backside, you can do kickbacks. These are a really great one. Come down onto your hands and knees. Hands shoulder distance apart. Knees hip distance apart. And with one leg, keep the leg bent at 90 degrees and kick the heel up towards the ceiling. Make sure you keep your core engaged and gaze forward. Drawing in and then pressing up. So exhaling as you press, drawing in and exhale, press. Do 2 sets of 20 on each leg, and you should start to feel a burn in your glute muscles. The V-lifts are a really great way to strengthen the shoulders and get really sculpted shoulders. So take some weights. You can use anything in the house that is a good weight for you. Take your hands down to your sides. Make sure your feet are hip distance apart. Palms at your sides. And then lifting halfway between, all the way out to the side and all the way out to the front. Hold for a couple of seconds and then lower back down. And repeat about 15 times, about 2 sets. Making sure to squeeze the shoulder blades back onto your back. Every woman I know wants to work on the little jiggly bits underneath the arms. So one of the best ways to do that, again with weights that you have at home, any kind of weight that's right for you, or dumbbells at the gym, we'll do kickbacks, tricep kickbacks. So feet hip distance apart, knees slightly bent. Bring the chest forward at a 90-degree angle. Weights go right up to your shoulders. You want to keep the elbows in by the waist, so they're right squeezing in by the rib cage. And then pressing straight back, so you straighten the arms, and then pulling right back in. And when you extend, make sure you're not hyperextending or jamming into the elbows, but just pressing back gently but firmly, and then holding here. A variation on the usual bicep curls is a great set that you can do, kind of varies the position of the bicep curls. So taking your weights, hold your hands down by your sides, do one set of regular bicep curls straight to your shoulders, and then you can modify it by keeping the elbows pinned by the rib cage, taking the arms out to the sides. Right, so side lifts. Doing one set there, returning to the center, doing another set in the center, and then taking the elbows in even more and towards the stomach and doing one more set there. Your arms should be pretty tired after all these sets. Nobody wants chicken thighs, and a great way to get rid of those is with hamstring deadlifts. So again, you can use any kind of weight you have at home, or dumbbells or barbell, whatever you might have at the gym. So you want to stand with your feet hip distance apart. Take the weights in your hands, palms facing your hips, slight bend to the knees. So keep a slight bend just to keep from hyperextending your knees. Sit back into your hips. Make sure the weight is into your heels. Come all the way forward with a flat back. And then exhale and press through the heels to come all the way up. So you should feel this in the backs of your legs and in your glutes. Pressing through the back of the heels as you come up to stand. Make sure that your shoulders don't round. You don't want to do this. Keep the back straight and press and come all the way up. This exercise is bicep curls, great for skinny arms, trying to beef up those arms a little bit. You can use pretty much anything you have around the house, anything that's the right weight for you. Make sure you have two of the same weight. And you can increase the weight as it gets easier. So you're gonna take the arms just up and down, keep the elbows right by the waist. Make sure that you don't go past the point where gravity starts to kick in, so you're really working those bicep muscles the whole way. And then you can do a drop set, so you can take this weight, go to a lighter weight afterwards. Doing bicep curls, you can use a heavier weight for the first set, and then you can do a drop set going down to a lighter weight, which will help you fatigue the muscle completely. For getting rid of that little space between the thighs that tends to rub together, anything with lateral motion, like walking lunges, elliptical, cycling, those types of things are great for that. So walking lunges, basically you're walking in a straight line, doing lunges going forward. So if you start with both feet together, hands on your hips, take one long step forward, bring the knee close to the floor, make sure you keep the front knee right over the front ankle. You don't want to go too far past. And then keep your chest lifted with the shoulders, the hips, and the knee all in one line, coming all the way up, and then going to the next leg. So you're walking in a straight line, doing lunges. To cure those droopy boobs, the best thing to do is to strengthen the muscles underneath. And to do that, you can do chest flies or chest press. So taking a weight, any weights that you have at home or the weights at the gym, you can start with chest presses, taking the weights right over the shoulders. Make sure you keep the shoulder blades down. Elbows go out to the sides, wrists stay right over the elbows, and then pressing straight towards the ceiling back over your chest. So squeeze the chest every time you bring the weights back over your shoulders. And you can modify this by speeding up the tempo or taking the tempo a little bit slower, going for 4 counts down, pressing up for 1, and modifying the weight. And then the second exercise are chest flies. So the palms face each other, same position with the arms. Arms go out to the side, slightly bent, shoulder blades down your back, and then press both hands all the way back together to starting point, and all the way out. And all the way in. And to get rid of the saddlebags and the side pockets on your legs, great exercise is a side stability ball lift. So taking one knee down to the floor, close to the ball, the other leg extends out to the side, leaning onto the ball with your hip, and then taking your other hand to your bottom hand out for support. The top hand can rest on the ball for a little bit more support. Then the leg that's extended, keep the foot flexed, and the leg lifts towards the ceiling. Come to about a 90-degree angle, and you can squeeze the glute muscles as you lift. To make it a little bit harder, you can take the hand on the floor towards the ball, keep both hands on the ball, and then to make it even harder, you can hold for 15 seconds, or you can add an ankle weight.